We are privileged and honored to have with us today Fr Sebastian, who is the National Coordinator of the Prison Ministry in India. Fr Sebastian is actively involved in the prison ministry. After completing his LLM, his Masters in Law, he practiced in the High Court of Kerala for about 4 years. And he's been observing the need, especially of prisoners. And he's been reaching out to them in his own special way. We are privileged today to have him, his idea and his take on the prison ministry in India. Welcome, Father.
Thank you. Thank you.
To Goa on behalf of the CCR and on CCR TV. First of all, Father, since when have you been involved with the prison ministry?
When I was in Kottayam Vadavadu Seminary, that is the birthplace of prison ministry India as an organizational level, there were 3 options before us for the seminarians, brothers. One is you can work in the street. Another option was working for the youth. Another option to work in the prison ministry. So when that was options were revealed, we can opt to anyone. So I don't know how I opted for prison ministry. And first time I am entering to the Kottayam sub-jail. We had some cultural programs, some kind of other interactions, as well as a message from my father. And all throughout this program, I saw a person, little elderly man. He was crying profusely. Then, after the program, I wanted to see what is making him cry during the whole of the program. I came and asked him, why you are crying all the time? Then he was telling me, Father, I saw a girl's dance there, a girl of 8 years we have brought for a dance. And I remember my family. And all throughout the program, my memory went back to my family and everything. Now I feel I wanted to join with my family, leaving away all the old ways and all. So that's why I'm crying. That time onwards, that is in 91 onwards, I was so much interested to work for these people. And in fact, we have studied a book, grammar book, Renan Martin's English grammar book. When I was studying the minor seminary, I was not knowing the meaning of many things. And in the preface it is given a beautiful sentence. Walls do not make prisons. Walls do not make prisons. I don't know how do Renan Martin got that beautiful sentence in his book. But he has put it, walls do not make prison, but only we can make prisons. When I am ready to visit you, never it will become a prison. And walls do not make prison. If wall is making prison, everywhere it is prison only. But when somebody is there to love you, somebody is there to help you, somebody is there to love you, no place will become prison. Prisoners are in need of our touch, our help, our love, everything. So that is what I got the inspiration to work in this prison ministry from the minor, from the seminary life itself. That is a major seminary. That is 1992 onwards. I am interested in the prison ministry, and the diaconate ministry 96 I did with prisoners. I was sleeping with them, the prisoners, ex-prisoners. They were criminals. They have killed people, but we were sleeping on the same floor along with them. It's so quiet, convenient, and I got interested in them, working with them and all. So now I feel more happy and joy to work for the people behind the bars.
So beautiful. That means right from the time of your seminary onwards,
yes,
you had this calling.
Yeah.
It's very much in keeping with the gospel. Na? Jesus, in the Gospel of Luke chapter 4, he says, he came to set prisoners free. And to heal the brokenhearted. And those people who are in the prison, they must be terribly broken-hearted. You know?
Yes, yes.
So it's such an honorable and a beautiful ministry of yours. And when one hears that someone is going to the prison, the first thing that they have is a sort of a fear. So did you not feel any fear as such?
First time when I went to Kottayam prison, I had fear. But I had impression they are all criminals. But I wanted to opt for this ministry. I went first time. My idea got changed. And for that fact, in Bangalore prison, when I was working, after liturgy program, kind of a prayer session we had, afterwards they came to me and knelt before me and touched my feet for 2 minutes. Father, bless me. I worked in the parish 5 years and another parish 2 years, but that much respect, that much concern, Father, pray for me. And I still remember one prisoner who was asking me, Father, tomorrow I am going for parole. I am getting a leave from the prison. I don't know my family members will accept me. Father, you pray for me so that I will be accepted in my family. I still went back to my vacation days. How lovingly, how enthusiastically we go for vacation to our own family. There is mother, there is father to accept us. But here there is one man is asking me, Father, pray for me. Tomorrow I am getting a parole. I am going my home. Whether my family members will accept me or not, I don't know. If they accept me, I will be very happy. Father, you pray for me. Their prayer request from their heart and all. And kneeling down in front of me, touching my feet 2 minutes, and I blessed him. So now I don't get any fear. That is the first impression that we have. They are all criminals. They have done something wrong and all. That is the impression that we have. But when we look into their lives, they have their own reasons or situations made them.
They are broken people.
Broken people. That is why. If you want, I will tell an example. So Anusha, a girl killed her own sister. And the moment I heard, you killed your own sister, I was feeling so much, because then I asked why. Now she's a renewed person, and recently I went back to her home, and Anusha, what happened? She was feeling mother is loving me more, the younger sister more. She was all the time feeling that mother is loving the younger sister more, is not me. So she had maybe a little mental problem also in the when she was small, below 18 years, 16 years, she killed that sister. How she killed? She thought that it is because of the younger sister I am not loved by my mother. So she put a cloth on her nose and mouth and killed her. And she was only 3 years in the prison. Since she was a minor. And when we took her from the prison, from the juvenile home to house, their mother told, don't bring her here. From our rehabilitation center, along with our sister Clara, who is a pioneer of prison ministry in Bangalore, we had taken her and told, sister, don't bring her here anymore. We don't want her. And even the mother did not allow to enter into the house even. She locked the room, locked the house, and she was speaking from outside. And we had to take her back home. But just last month, we had taken again her home. She's now staying with the family members and all. She's all right now. A kind of rehabilitation we have done. We feel happy and joy. And I asked Anusha, why did you do that? Father, I was not that much aware of my action. It is all craving for love. I did it. Now I realize, and she is also taking now also she is taking little medicine for the mental sickness.
Wow.
So situations are different. If we are all put in that situation, we don't know what will happen.
Definitely.
So we have to be merciful towards them. That's what we can say.
Yeah, and she wouldn't realize the repercussions of what she was doing at that point of time.
She was minor and all, no? So that's why.
That also brings me to the point of women prisoners all over the place. What is your take on women prisoners?
The most suffered group in the prison is women prisoners. Because in a big prison set up for the male prisoners, 1 or 2 rooms will be given to them. That's all. They might not have touched even the ground, the earth, once a year. If they have, because always these two rooms will be completely concreted. There will be no sufficient space to get out of that concrete house. Just a little veranda will be there and all, because that women prisoners are mostly suffering through. What we can say, they don't have sky. They can't see sky even, because they are all the time under concrete. They don't have proper air. They don't have earth also. Three things they are lacking: air, earth, and sky also. This everything is lacking for their life. So they are the most suffering group. And when we look into as per the National Crime Record Bureau, the growth rate of the women prisoners, that means women prisoners in the prison, last 15 years it has increased into more than 32%. But the structure for this growth of the prison number, women prisoners number, structure have not been improved. And mostly they are staying with the children. And the mother staying with the children, staying with the mother, most suffering group, because they don't have protein. Other things are not there. And the children, sometimes they are not seeing even a male person. And the women will be speaking a lot of maybe kind of rough terms, words, and proper confidentiality or private rooms are not there. So everything is watched by the children, and children formation, we say formation is taking place below 5 years or 6 years, and that time these children are not getting formed anything. And so that is why women and children with women, they are the most suffering group in the prisons, and most of the facilities are used by male prisoners but not the women prisoners. So that's why their need or their necessities are not properly looked after. And we in India, we need, all the states need women prisons, not 2 rooms set apart for the male prison.
Separate prison for them.
Separate prison. We have few women prisoners are there. So, but not in all the states, and sufficient number is not there. And we can say we need more women prisoners.
Why is this spurt in women prisoners? What is the problem?
It is all, they have to construct structural wise, they have to construct new prisons. It takes a long time, maybe fund constraints or interest constraints, enthusiasm.
But why why are women suddenly taking up to crime like this?
Increase.
Yeah,
because of the media, because of now all are going for work. Women as well as the men are going for work and all. No? So it is a kind of a 15% of everywhere, not only in India, all the countries. And we know 11.5 million prisoners are there in all the world. So, but the percentage wise per lakh, it is in America 725 people are in the prison, but whereas in India 35 to 40. That's all. And the crime rate of the or the prison rate of the people inside the prison. So it's a kind of a universal growth of the number of the women prisoners. Part of India is also part of it. So
Right. You have people with willful crimes and those who have made crimes by mistake.
Yeah.
The prisoners who are there now in the prison, it must be terrible for them when they have committed a crime by mistake and they are there put inside.
They are the people most suffering. Maybe unknowingly, maybe because the situation, some are innocent also. Some are first-hand offenders. So these are some of the groups, they need special care and attention. First-hand offenders. They are just done the crime for the first time. They are put along with the hardcore criminals. And we don't have a classification of the prisoners. That's a problem in India. If you did, he may be a murderer, habitual murderer, another one is just a theft case he came. But he is putting together these two groups of people. It's not nice. It is not good at all. But we don't have a proper classification of the prisoners according to their category of the crime and all. That is very difficult. And in that, because of the innocent prisoners will be there, Some are hardcore criminals will be there, first-hand offenders will be there. They are all mingled together and put together. So it's a problem in India and some of the other third world countries. But whereas we go to foreign countries and all, they have got the correct separations and all the prisoners and all. And here, under in India, as per the National Crime Record Bureau, there are 1,401 prisons, about 1,400 prisons. And prisoners number, it comes around 4,16,263. 4,16,263 prisoners are inside the prison. And we have not yet classified the prisoners and kept them. And also under-trial prisoners are more in India. More in India. That means about 62% of the prisoners are under trial. Prisoners are having the trial going on like that, and we know we take always long time to finish a case. So they are put in the prison that time. And rich always has got people to put them out, parole, bail and all, everything they will get it. But the poor people, they don't have surety amount. There are, judge might have told you can go on bail, but a surety, everything, he may not be able to furnish the sureties, that's why he is already in the prisons and all. So that is the situation in the prison. So that innocent and first-hand offenders have to be separated and kept according to the crime wise. If they keep separate and all, it will be very nice. And we have got good laws. That means if a prisoner undergone half of the punishment during the trial time, he can be out. But that facility implementation or the proper guidance to the prisoners is not properly done and all. So that's a thing. And they are not able to see the lawyers even. Most of the time lawyers doesn't appear. Lawyers do not appear before the prisoner in the court, in the prison and all. They don't come because they are the poor prisoners. They don't come to the they don't give money properly and on proper time, and also advocates are also not ready that much to taking so much.
I thought the government normally
there is a free legal aid.
So that's what.
But even then, I practice as an advocate for 4 years. From my experience, free legal advocates may not be so efficient, though they get money, but a meager amount also. Only they get it. But I don't see they have got proper interest in they have got a case from free legal aid. They are registered in the free legal aid society, so they are getting the case and they are going to the court. But sincerely speaking, they are not that much sincere for the people for whom they are fighting. So that's it.
Father, what is your take on the spirituality or their openness to spiritual ideas, especially prisoners?
I feel we say we need to change the prisoners' welfare and everything. We need to have it, and we improve the facilities of the prisoners. But I feel only spirituality can change a prisoner, nothing else. As a priest, I can understand. Only spiritually improve them, then they make change. Otherwise, no change. Even if they make change also, once they get into the situation, again they commit the crime. But spiritually improve, give them improvement and make them changed persons. 100% sure on spirituality. And there is one experience for me. Once Susai was there working in the Ranchi prison. He used to go to all the Ranchi prison regularly. He was telling me an experience because there was one prisoner used to come for talk to them when they are sitting together and all. He comes, but he one day he asked, "What is your crime?" and all. No, so he told, "My crime is rape and killed." Okay, murdered a girl. And he said, "I did not do." That was his first reaction. "I did not do, Father. I did not do." After 1 month, he came forward, "Father, I only did it. But Father, you will be with me. Even if I get any punishment, Father Lord, I will be with you." For him to take the responsibility of the crime, it took 1 month. Father did not go into his other implications, whether all the things, but he was listening whatever he was talking to them this last 1 month. To the prisoners, generally he was speaking to them and all. No. Then he came to a conclusion and coming to the Father, Father, I did this crime. And for Father's happiness, again, after 1 week, Susai was telling me, he came again and told me, Father, even if they give me capital punishment, I don't have any problem. I am ready to accept the crime because I did the crime. And taking somebody a responsibility, it is through the power of God, mercy of God, forgiveness of God only. Because Father was speaking about all the time forgiveness. You ask forgiveness, God will forgive you and take the responsibility. The one person who takes the responsibility will be forgiven a lot. And that was the Father was giving. And what is our prison ministry volunteers work? Just walk along with the prisoner. They may be criminal, they may be rapist, they may be a kind of murderer, but can we walk along with them to change them? It is a great thing. And even if we are not bringing them out, it's okay. But somebody who is taking the responsibility after 1 year, 2 years, telling, I have done it, Father, that's a great thing. And our duty is to make somebody responsible for his crime, so that after the punishment term, he will be a beautiful citizen of India, and will be a contributing member. That's all.
So nice it is, because it speaks about the concept of repentance, which the Lord calls us to. Now that also brings me to the point where you spoke about volunteers. How do you all manage to get volunteers for your...
First of all, we tell the volunteers 3 things, very much important. Pray. Any volunteer wanted to work in the prison ministry, as a volunteer of prison ministry India, they had to pray to the Lord, to God, at least for half an hour. Because when we go to the prison, prisoners used to tell us, Father, don't think we don't get anything in the prison. If I can manage to get a mobile, I can manage to call my family, I can get anything here in the prison. But what we want from you people, we want your prayer. That nobody gives us. So we tell them, in order to change them, we need to pray to God, so that when we pray for them, it will be touching their heart and change them. So prayer we say. And we also say, God's providence is our bank balance. That means it is not you who is going to make the people changed. God is going to make. You pray to God. Depend upon God providence. God will change them. Your prayer, little sacrifice, make them. And you always say, third thing, inconvenience is our convenience. Prison ministry, it is not an easy work. Sometimes we have to wait in front of the prison to 1 hour, 2 hours. Sometimes to get a permission from a superintendent or to IG, I still remember we went to an IG, 16 years we are working in a particular prison, and suddenly they closed the permission for all the NGOs, and I had visited 7 times to see this IG, but never he gave a face to us, never he allowed us to meet him. 7 times, and finally we got the permission. So prison ministry work is a maximum we'll have inconvenience. One sister is telling, Father, not 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And one sister, when I was giving a talk in the prison ministry for the volunteers, one sister came along with me and told me, Father, I had taken a father along with me for some religious function in the prison, but we both waited 3 hours in front of the prison. And I am ready to wait, but I am making the priest, one who came first time for the prison, to the prison, he was also, he was feeling so much. But that is our life. There will be inconvenience, there should be praying people and depend upon God and all. There will not be immediate result for anything. You may be counseling a prisoner for 1 year, he may get released from the prison, but after some time he will come back again to the prison. We feel humiliated, because what is the use of my work in the prison with this man I counseled him, I prayed for him, but he is coming back again. So people ask me, what is the use, Father, doing this kind of activities for these prisoners? You go to the village and work for the people, at least 10% of the improvement will be there. But I believe. And the word of God is telling, whatever you sow, it will produce fruit and come back to me. It will not come back without producing the fruit. God's words is, I have experience. I was in Mumbai in one of the parishes. Just I took out the church of that parish. And there was one lady coming to me every day, practically comes for mass, and afterwards she'll tell, my husband is drinking, a lot of making problem at home, beating me, beating the children and all. Father, you tell him to go for a retreat. And I told, I know this person, he will not hear my words. But in order to pacify or in order to help, just to console that lady, I told, I will call that man. I called that man and I told, you see, you came from that particular state and you are here. Your children are learning from you. You are drinking and not going, behaving well at home, and you are not. See, the society is not respecting you. The children may feel, no, they are in the Mumbai and they may feel it. Then that is why you go for a retreat, I told. Father, I don't want to go to retreat. If I pray like this, fold my hands and pray, God will come before me. Then I thought I have to go for a retreat, because he falls and he can. But to me it was a surprise. Before moving from that parish, the same man came to me and asked me, after 4 years, he asked me, Father, you are talking about a retreat center, no? Where is that retreat center? I want to go now. He doesn't know I am getting a transfer, but he is coming. The seed which I planted so 4 years ago, now producing fruit. So that is why prison ministry volunteers, I tell them, you just may be patting on a prisoner, just asking a prisoner, what is your name? Maybe visiting a family of the prisoner, it will produce positive impact on the prisoner. Don't expect immediate result, but there will be result. No good works will go wasted. No good. That is what Jesus told. Even if you give a glass of water, you will be rewarded. Sometimes layperson, I tell them, you will not be rewarded in your life. Your children will be blessed for this, because you are spending little time, your money, everything for the prisoners, and leaving away sometimes some of the responsibility of the family and coming here and working. For that, God will give you reward. No, God is rewarding God, not our percentage. 100 more He will give. When we give reward to somebody, maybe 20%, but God's percentage is 100% reward will be there. That is my experience, and the volunteers like that. And we get volunteers one way or other. I can say there are volunteers. We are not paying anything to any volunteer, but they are all putting their heart and soul for this prison ministry. And we have got almost connected volunteers, or indirectly connected, or full-time volunteers like that. We have got 6,000 volunteers. 850 prisons we are working. Some prisons we are going regularly, some prisons once a month, some prisons sometimes occasional level because of the permission constraints and all everything. So, but even then we can say 6,000 along with and we have got a lot of support from the Bishops' Conference. And even here, the Archbishop Philip Mary, and also Caritas Director, Father Maverick, and also Coordinator, Mr. David, and everybody is going. And I really congratulate our Sister Jane, who was so inspiring to everyone and to everyone. And she used to tell me, considering to this fruit we don't expect. When I used to tell this, she used to tell, we should be like farmers. Farmers sow the seed and wait for the rain. God will shower the rain. Like that only prison ministry volunteers. God will produce fruit. God will give the reward.
It's very beautiful, Father, to hear you speak rather than on something very materialistic. It's so deep